the technical review committee meeting. This meeting's going to be recorded, so whatever you say will be there for a long time. Okay. So I'm sorry to print out the previous minutes. Does anybody need a copy of those?
Motion to approve.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Next, our case is up. First case up is fence permit -23-103-890-824 Lakeshore Drive, Papas. Fencing off 2 service areas, 1 trash dumpster area, and a fence division between properties north of the parking lot. It's zoned C1. We just got that one there up there. So, Mr. McCormick, could you please describe your project for us? Yeah, can you give us, just for the record, name and address?
Papa's 824 North Lakeshore Drive, Colvin.
So, this is the one picture I have that was from the application. So it looks like you want to put a fence between you and the hotel?
I do.
And wrap around your trash area and then run it by the building to cover your CO2 and HVAC
That's right.
equipment. That pretty much sums it up.
And a little bit of egress issues with parking in my parking lot to the motel. A little bit of people think that they're privy to take beer kegs from my storage area because they can take them, to the cash them in, and then the CO2 tanks trying to get some protection from egress and clean the place up a little.
I think somebody wants in.
How far will that go to the street?
Just inside that telephone. Less towards the street than the cement slab.
The fence will be this way, right?
So-
It'll only come out to this far from the street. In other words, it'll be in line with that line. Be over here like this. How tall will that fence be?
We think a little bit of material issues, but 6 feet.
60 inches?
6 feet.
6 feet?
72.
Is there a height
7
requirement?
Yeah, 7 feet's a max
7 feet's max all the way around or just?
for the privacy fence itself.
Yeah, that's what's, the north.
What's your issues with material?
So we have a winter coming,
Yeah.
and some say 2 to 3 weeks, and some say 20 to 40
Okay,
weeks.
yeah.
So we're just trying to figure out a way to punch in. I have very few resources of people that will do this work, so we're trying to say, get it done.
Okay.
So how, I went out there and sat in your lot, so like I'd be pulling out if I was customer leaving on the north side. How far back from the sidewalk will your fence be?
We pass that around.
Yeah. So it's within, inside my sign that sticks out.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty tight to the building. It's a high.
So with, on the long line on the north that runs east and west on the north side, when we look at this drawing, how far back from the sidewalk here will the fence start?
According to my builders,
It'd be back in here.
Oh, we up for that. Well, I'm looking at the one that runs between the hotel. That's the one that's gonna block your site, right?
Mhm.
The one by the side.
Steve, 7 feet is the limit of height.
It is. Depending on where in zoning,
Couldn't remember what it was.
50%. Doesn't have to be 50% visibility. It's a privacy fence. It's in the side yard.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
I assume you'll access that from the north side. You'll have an access door. Yeah.
Yes, we need to.
Only question, where is your property line runs, you said by the side here, so where would the fence go in relation to the curb approximately?
4 feet with a drop down.
So it would be on this side of the,
Good.
okay.
And you said you're tapering?
And how far from the sidewalk it, Lake Shore, how far back?
Proposed was 4 feet
From the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Can we get that back further than that?
You can, there's a parking space right up to that sidewalk.
As I sat there, I got out and took a tape measure from the sidewalk back, sat in my truck and looked. And about 20 feet back gave me a nice clear visible light up the road if I was pulling out to be safe.
Okay. I have 20 feet on the west to the left or to the south.
And I'm talking strictly from
Just the north.
from the sidewalk going back east. That opening.
So it almost put it in line with the existing front of the hotel. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah, somewhere in there. So starting back from the sidewalk here, the sidewalk ends right there, and then back about 20 feet. That seemed like it would be a nice safe distance for visibility for people leaving.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with any of that.
That's all I'm saying, just from the sidewalk at the street, going back that long fence between you and the hotel, just starting about 20 feet back from the sidewalk.
So should I discontinue parking
No, you can.
to that sidewalk?
Yeah, you can keep parking there. That's just where the fence starts, just for visibility to see when you exit the lot. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, those cars are sitting, like if you got parking cars there, they're below 6 foot and maybe the fence will distract a little bit from that. Is that what you're saying, Steve?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So 20 feet?
Yeah,
Yeah, coming down that hill could be a difficulty, people pulling out of the parking lot.
that's my concern, is just clear visibility for people pulling.
See it as an improvement. On here too.
It is.
Mhm.
You gonna do your water line before you put this up? Cause you're gonna go under it twice, so I'm like, ooh, you better get that done.
There's some improvements up here already.
We have.
That's
So trying to tie that in.
Tidy that up a little bit.
So,
Kind of the same dumpster area to, you'd be surprised, but people think that that's a public dumpster.
That's why we don't have one street garage.
Yeah,
'cause that's
I'm
like-
not surprised at all.
It's an assumption of convenience is what that is.
And I'll have a boat pull in and just do their thing, but it's ugly and I want to hide it.
And you want something here in front too, right?
Yeah.
So it's a gate here.
Just along the grass.
That's like, which I'm confident doesn't stick out any further than what we've already.
Well, your sign's already, yeah, if you're inside.
Right.
We added that sidewalk this year, so feel like I pull out of that lot every night. There's sufficient visibility.
I don't have any more questions.
Nope, I'm good.
I'm good.
Motion to approve.
Go ahead.
No, you go
A
ahead.
motion to approve FP-23-103 890-824 Lakeshore Drive, fencing in that area.
I'll second that motion.
Who was the first?
Oh, you want a motion? I thought you were throwing it out there.
You're the one.
I will motion to approve. Sorry, you read it out in the way that I thought you were doing it. SB 23. I know you are.
Second was Bob.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're on to the next. Next case is BP for building permit -23-103-921-958 West Shore Drive for a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 1-car garage on a full basement.
There were 2 existing, weren't there?
So, are you here to speak on that? Pardon? Are you here to speak on 958?
Yeah.
Just for a record name.
Rick Bannock, Rackham Incorporated, 11480 West 93rd Avenue, St. John, Indiana.
Can you tell us a little bit about the project, please?
4,200 square foot new residence, replacing the old one. 2 stories, full basement, basement will be finished, walkout.
You were here for the demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't started yet. We're working on a warranty issue for the property.
And I think that's a drawing. Maybe. Well, it's not coming out the way I want to have it set up earlier, but oops. Sorry about that. Earlier, I promise.
This being the same footprint that the existing building? Pretty close. It spans a little bit more to the front. Basically, it's at the same elevation as the house is now.
Don't know why this is not looking well for me.
Because it's technology.
I know.
That's
It's
it.
too complicated.
I'm telling you.
Meet the setbacks from the lake. Everything's within parameters. I think Steve's already checked all that.
It
You were doing some terracing down towards the lake, weren't you?
Yeah,
I remember that.
We got a major landscape plan also
Yeah.
As part of the project. I don't know if Tyler from the county sent you the copy of the plan yet or not,
No,
just as an update.
So yeah, you're doing major work on that hill, aren't you?
yeah.
Major work on it. Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna clean it up.
Everything is within setbacks. I know I had it on here when I started, but I can close it and try opening it. Those setbacks are compliant.
Building height? Building height is 29'9", and then from the ground, it's about 100, 130. So we're within a 35-foot range.
Mm-hmm.
You've already set elevations for that, or?
Yes.
Yeah, before the tear down.
And it's even on the plan. They put a starting point on the plan too, from the center of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I went out there and reset the elevation.
Good.
They'll have it staked. It was marked literally on the house, hasn't been demoed yet.
Right.
And it'll be staked.
I'll take a picture and send it to you guys. So actually, we're as far as landscape goes, we're doing both properties. It's in a trust, so we got 954, which is to the south, and 958. So we're going to do the whole hill, along with replacing the boathouse on 954, which is down by the lake.
And the garage in front staying.
Garage in front's
Remains.
gonna stay. I think we're gonna reshingle the roof to match the new home and put new siding on.
Okay.
Tie everything in.
So I got the setbacks that are on the building permit up there on the side. So it's well within, the 2 sides meet right at the 10 feet, north and south, east and west up on the room.
So if Tyler sends you the landscape plan, you'll see where we're gonna put our shoring walls, our retaining walls on the hill for construction. Then we have to clear everything out away from the seawall. We can see what we're gonna work with and how we're gonna repair that before we contact the DNR. Get that approval.
Yeah, boy.
Any more questions?
Yeah, boy, it's driving the dollar, that hill is definitely driving the dollars.
I'm sure.
Also, the setback from the lake will be within.
The house or the,
Yeah, I just had setbacks up there. The setbacks are way, both, both from the front and rear yard, front yard being the lake.
our architect, Dave Kaiser, he's really familiar with culvert and setbacks and everything, height requirements. Your impervious
Any other questions?
coverage.
Not for me. Nope, we're good.
Okay, a motion to approve building permit BP 23 103921 at 958 West Shore Drive.
So move.
The only question I got for you guys is, did you look at the variance for the boathouse? I read it over and it didn't give me a date for, how long it was good for. That'll be the next permit that comes up to review.
I have to look. Do you remember when you got the variance?
I just read it and I can't remember the date, but it's been a year.
We need to get that renewed. Can you get a hold of me sometime?
We'll be out next week. I can bring it with me or I can send it to you. One or the other.
Next week is fine.
Yeah,
We'll make sure we verify the date and that's still going to be
active.
active.
Tell you what, before we lose sight of it, I'll second it. We can get that moving.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, get with me next week
Yeah, okay.
and we'll check the boathouse variance out. The next two cases, two separate cases. But I think we can discuss them together. First of all, it's building permit BP 23 1040712553 Edwards Lane. Guest cabin across road from main residence, leaving foundation and exterior walls and rebuilding interior. So major renovation. Oh, can I, for the record, name?
Yeah. Chad Leap with Skyline Builders.
And 2557 reads identical. Building permit -23 104-074 at 2557 Edwards Lane. These are both cabins. Here's the first one. 2557 Edwards Lane, guest cabin across from main residence, leaving foundation, exterior walls, and rebuilding interior. Building within the same footprint. West side setback is non-conforming at 5 feet. No variance is required because none of that's going to be changed. Essentially just a big renewal. For both houses, back up, yeah, 2553. 557. And here's the front of the house standing on the left picture on the left. Is me standing on Edwards at the corner of the property, taking a picture facing to the east. The house on the right is west, the house on the left is east. The next picture is me facing to the west. So this is the east home, that's the west, east cottage, west cottage. Those are pictures of the cottages. Does anyone have any questions on?
Basically, you're just doing an interior improvement and,
Replacing window siding, roof,
oh, so nothing's
sprucing
changing
up the
on
porches, right?
the existing location of the building.
Essentially renovation permit. Any other questions?
I'm good.
Pretty simple.
It is.
Not raising the height of the building or anything like that.
So for BP-23-104-071 at 2553 Edwards Lane, can I have a motion to approve that building permit?
So move.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We'll approve that. And then I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do the same one for the 2557.
I'll so move that one.
And I'll second.
Second.
Yes, sir.
Who moved that?
I did.
Second was
You choose. Both Rob and Chester.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is building permit -23-104-119 at 1460 East Shore Drive. Rebuilding 47 feet of foundation wall on crawl space, installing 3 vertical piers on the existing foundation. So, have Mr. Rob Kelly here. Tell us what's happening with that.
So we did an inspection on it, and there's 17 feet on one side, 30 feet on the other side. That was, this foundation was compromised, so we had to rebuild it
And it's on a crawl space.
on a crawl space, correct? We are putting new crawl space jacks throughout the entire home, and the piers are on the front. I believe they're underneath that front right corner where that bump out is. For the 3 piers, it's settled there, so we're carrying it to support it.
So you're keeping it from falling apart.
Correct.
So you had some settling issues down below?
Yep.
So I've been out on this site as well. We did start the construction prior to the permit, so that's why we're here now too, to get that permit so they can get that project on hold pending the permit. Otherwise, not changing anything else on the exterior.
Okay.
Not touching anything else, just putting that wall back on both sides and then we're cleaning out the crawl space, cleaning it up and encapsulating it.
Do we have any questions?
Setback from the lake meet the requirements.
Don't know, it's not relevant.
It's under the existing house.
It's under the
Yeah,
existing,
not
not changing
changing
the
the structure
foundation
at all.
footprint, so
Yeah.
you're
It's all
just, you're
existing.
doing everything underneath.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's literally
I gotcha.
underneath the house on both sides. We've done
So
that.
they've tore part of the foundation out down
Yeah.
both sides. And they're gonna be rebuilding that with new footers and
Yeah.
then
Correct.
blocking it back in again for the crawl space.
Yeah.
And then when we do that, we also put, they're called carbon fiber straps to help support it, and so it won't ever happen.
You're securing it to the earth,
Correct. Yeah, we're redoing it
the
to,
existing.
yeah, so with the footer, have the rebar in it, it'll be solid, and we just build with 8x8 by 16 truss
So it
block.
doesn't slide into the lake.
Yeah.
Which is a good point.
Yeah, it is. How old's that? Do you know how old that house is?
I do
Just
not-
curiosity, how long it took to,
It took a little while. I looked it up online. I can't remember what
it
was.
looks like one of the older ones over there, so it's good to see it being saved and not tore down, so yeah. Okay.
So if there's no further questions for 1460 Shore Drive, I entertain motion for building permit -23-104119 1460 East Shore Drive.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. I need to approve that. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
The next item on the list is for building permit BP-23-104-129-2250 East Shore Drive. The existing home was prepared for a future elevator. We're contracted with the owner to open up the area between floors and install base for the installation of the elevator. Owner is working directly with elevator company Mobility One out of Indianapolis. Correctly. Do we have someone here to speak on that?
Yes.
And may I have your name and address, please?
Yeah, Douglas Harvey, Copeland Construction, address is 475 Anchorage Road, Suite 13. So,
Can you just tell us about the project?
sure. Mobility One out of Indianapolis has installed a few elevators for our client. And he had called me a month ago and asked if he had another client here in Culver that had a house that was prepared for an elevator and they want to put it in. So he had a contract with them and asked if I could come in and pull a floor that was joist hangered in. They had two closets stacked up to remove the floor so they can put their elevator in. And I said, yes, I'd be happy to do that. Some minimal work. And I asked him if I needed a permit, and he said, no, there's no residential inspection on elevators. I put these in all the time, all over the state, Indianapolis, and no requirements. I'm like, are you sure? He says, yes, I'm sure. And I took him for his word, because every county's different. Because that's what county, obviously, we're really relaxed in. So I built in Marshall County, several different places throughout the area. So it's my bad for listening to him. So yeah, so I sit before you trying to catch up. I talked to Steve Howard at the building department and got all the paperwork, got my bond, got my registration all renewed. Because the last one I did was Jennings over there in Argus. So all that's been renewed with him, and we got the permits and action.
So the house was designed for an elevator and you're
It
just
was.
opening those parts back up again. to
It
get
was,
installed.
there's two builds, the house was pretty old, I guess, and whoever built it did an add-on, I don't know how many years ago, but they did stack it up, and just as John said, when we opened it up, the floor systems were joist anchored in. So it was just a matter of pulling the floor joist out, and obviously we have to put some bracing in the walls for the elevator rails to go up, and yeah, it's pretty simple. So.
It's all interior.
Yes, yes.
Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah, I don't,
Does anybody have any other questions?
no.
I wasn't even sure on the permit what to click because it's not really remodeled. I didn't know, so.
They tell you to go under renovation.
Yeah, so I pulled the renovations, they said, accessibility is a $50 permit and renovations like $100 some dollars. So I just clicked the 100. I mean, that's no skin off.
Yeah, we don't have a retrofit elevator.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's not like everybody can put those in a residential.
You know,
building,
it's
right?
just one of those things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a motion to approve building permit BP-23-104129 for 2250 East Shore.
Second that movement.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries to approve that.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
And it's also on our agenda.
Okay.
So let me go back to the agenda and say, does any of the members have any comments or concerns you want to discuss?
This has to be one of the most considerate audiences I've ever seen because it's dead to the whole thing. Usually it's yep. Got what I need. See you later. Thanks, guys, for being here. We
Okay.
appreciate y'all.
For other business, our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 19th. Move that up.
I won't be here.
I know you won't be here. Kevin?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here reporting for the EDC, so
Yes, sir.
I've got two hats.
Can you be here on next Tuesday, the 19th?
We're gonna need Barry here, cause I don't know if I can actually be voting or respond on that. We'll talk about that later. No, I don't have a report to you. I got that. Yeah, let's go. Never mind.
All right.
Love you. Sorry.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, I got two meetings confused.
Motion to adjourn?
You got it.
Now I'll second that. Let's go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, we adjourned
So I'm
at 10,
leaving.
10:29.
I wanna watch that hill go. My mom lives down the road from there on West Shore. Yeah.
We're gonna put a lot of shoring and piles, sheet piles in there.
Who's your excavator, can I ask?
It's gonna be Zayner.
Is it?